Hello and welcome to Tea in the City. We hope you're doing well. I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm FA.
In today's episode, we'll be covering several topics, ranging from Molly's experiences within the deaf community and explaining what she thinks others can do to help. We have another interview with a local historian telling us the story of Douglas Morris Harris, an overlooked World War I sailor from Wolverhampton.
And this is Nick Alexander, but you might also know him as Mr. Miami. Since returning to the UK, he has gained a popular following on social media for promoting the city of Wolverhampton. At the end, a live interview with a local upcoming rapper, the Cleopatra Way.
Wow. I'm really looking forward to hearing about her journey and her dreams of stardom.
Same here, and that's right. Coming up next is an interview with Molly, a deaf student studying film and television at the University of Wolverhampton, spreading awareness to her community.
Let's see what she has to share with us.
Hi Molly, thanks for coming. Just tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Molly, of course. I'm profoundly deaf and I'm from Wales, Carmarthen to be specific.
What have you been studying? What do you like, dislike?
I like watching movies, of course. That would make a lot of sense in my free time. I also like going out to have drinks with my friends. All sorts of social things, really. I really like studying my course in film. I like all the visual aspects and the editing's fun as well. Anything with the vision mixing, that kind of area of the course. It's all very interesting, but obviously I dislike the sound. I can't hear it and it makes it really difficult. So trying to take that information can be difficult.
So you mentioned it being difficult. How difficult is it to learn film?
No, it's not difficult at all, really. Sometimes some elements are difficult because I've got to book interpreters and I have to, if I've got a one-to-one to explain some things because, if it's linked to sound, that can be very difficult. But in general, the course is great.
How do you think the university and Wolverhampton as a whole could improve and help the deaf community?
Yeah, it'd be better if more people signed, really, and were just a bit more deaf aware. Because the university has an interpreting course, but the people on the different courses don't learn anything. So it's a little bit odd, really, because we've got an interpreting course, deaf students, but no one else really knows how to sign. So if we had more people signing around, like for example now me, I'm the only deaf person, I'm the only person that knows how to sign. So it'd be better if we had more of that atmosphere, more people deaf aware and knowing to sign in general.
You must have some stories about being mistaken for being hearing.
Oh yes, of course. So sometimes when I'm out shopping or a cafe, I'll have to try and let people know I'm deaf. So quite often I'll have an app and I'll write down on my phone, I'll say I'm deaf to confuse, make sure there's no confusion. But quite often it'll say I'm deaf. And then I'm embarrassing as well, but it's also embarrassing for them because they don't know how to react.
Oh, well, that's been brilliant, Molly. Thank you for taking this interview.
Thanks for that insightful interview. What do you think about that, Brooklyn?
I feel it covered a lot of the issues dealing with deafness, and it was also nice to have Molly share some of the more awkward situations she's been put in and be able to laugh at those with Molly.
I know that's right. So moving on, we have an exclusive interview with a local historian who shed light on a young sailor from World War I and his courageous acts.
Let's take a look back on the history of this brave soldier, Douglas Morris Harris. We now have our reporter, Ethan.
We know Douglas Harris fought in the Adriatic Sea. Why was he sent there?
Well, Harris as a sailor was fighting with the Royal Navy as part of the Royal Navy blockade of Germany and her allies. So basically one of the things the British did to try and beat the Germans and their allies was to naval blockade, to stop supplies of food and industrial matters, iron, coal and stuff like that, getting into those enemy countries.
I realised that if we lost the war, we should do it by being bled to death through the wounding or cutting of the vital arteries of our sea communications, of which one of the greatest ran through the Mediterranean.
Harris was a wireless operator. Could you tell me more about his job?
Yeah, he probably ended up as a wireless operator in the Navy because when he was a young lad and left school, his first job was as an electrician, and they probably thought anybody with electrical training would be good as a wireless operator. So his job, he was on one of these very small boats strung out all across the Adriatic Sea in a long line, and he will have been sending messages back to base, which would have been on land, telling them what was going on at sea. And normally they would be looking out for submarines, which the Germans and Austrians were trying to sneak out. And to be honest with you, a lot of them did get past this line. So his job was, if you like, an early warning system.
What was the Otranto barrage?
Yeah, the Otranto barrage is just a name for all the British ships which went on a line from the southern part of Italy all the way across the Adriatic Sea towards Corfu. And these small fishing boats, because they were literally small fishing boats, many of them, were basically in a line, maybe a few hundred yards apart for several miles all the way across. And the idea was that that kind of like a line would be like a tripwire if the Austrian Navy tried to sneak out, which it never did during the whole of the First World War. The closest it ever came to doing it was when they attacked the barrage in the action in which Harris was killed himself. On the night of the 15th of May 1917, the Austrian Navy came down to the British blockade line and broke through it, and they tried to destroy as many of these British ships as they possibly could. And Harris himself was relaying messages back to base, warning them and telling the Royal Navy what was going on. And he was hit by shrapnel from one of the Austrian cruisers, and he died literally over his logbook. And of course that scene is depicted on his memorial in Wolverhampton.
These memorials are of great value, and this one shows that Wolverhampton is going to keep alive the memory of duty nobly done in the hearts and minds of its children and their children's children.
Wow, what a brave young man. I'm glad we was able to get his story out to more people. Hefe, have you ever noticed the statue in Wolverhampton?
I've seen it, but I'm only now knowing its meaning.
On a lighter topic, we have Nick, aka Mr. Miami, giving us a tour of Wolverhampton's exciting nightlife.
Brooklyn, what do you feel about the nightlife in Wolverhampton?
I think it's class. Some of my regulars include pre-drinks at the Moon underwater, then going to either the Rock Club Planet or to Pop World, something like that.
Awesome. So let's see Mr. Miami's tour of the Wolverhampton nightlife.
So we're outside Bank. Do you want to tell us about Bank?
It's a newly opened club. It's like a cocktail bar / lounge. We have a burlesque show, live music. One of the newest spots to Wolverhampton. I think it's a great place and venue for people to come to. And again, they're open on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And people can come down and have drinks, young, old, everybody in between, and have a good time. Again, Wolverhampton's trying to bring the nightlife back. And I think this is one of the premier spots that could definitely do it. You can see the chandeliers inside. Everything's all nice. And I think that, again, it's one of the spots that we should be definitely coming to on the weekends.
Okay, so next up we've got North Street. They do street food, live music.
Yeah, North Street Social actually, but they call it North Street for short. They do street food, live music, and also on the weekends they do like a Caribbean type vibe.
Oh,
so you can
nice.
come through and do that, and then you can also rent the venue out for your private hire as well.
Oh, that's good.
So it's a multifunctional venue, and it's definitely one of the premier venues in Wolverhampton that people should definitely come and check out. Definitely come on the weekends before a football match. The young crowd can definitely come here and have a few beers, have drinks, and again, they're here, and Wolverhampton does have things that you can definitely come and check out. Why not support it? I know that's right.
We have high business rates in this city. So me speaking from a social and a business aspect is businesses need to make more money in order to keep up with their bills, and the cost of living isn't going down, it's going up, and things are becoming more expensive, but things aren't. If there isn't anything for people to do to release, people will just go crazy. So I think entertainment plays a very important factor in any city.
Wow, Mr. Miami, that was awesome. Thanks for that. I really need to visit Wolves after hours.
As mentioned earlier, our guest for today, The Cleopatra's Way, has created a video just for us, followed by a live interview here in the studio. It's going to be amazing. Are you excited, F.A.?
Absolutely, absolutely. I really can't wait. I'm at the edge of my seat.
Money motivated, all these bombs are basic. Looking bad on the net, but in person don't say shit. You tell me that I'm different, so I hop in my spaceship. I got too many flows, I can sting like a rose. Pretty face, white nails, and it match with the toes. And I know you get the picture, I ain't talking a pose. Too cold with it, ice out, wrist unfroze. Flexing impolitely, may as well indict me. Got a problem, bite me. You say a line on my name just to spite me. Here's a tissue, wipe away your tears, cause you clearly got an issue. Yeah. Cause I come first place. Cleopatra and his better keep up the pace. Stay beating in your ear.
And we are back with The Cleopatra Way.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's fine. You doing all right?
I'm good. Can't complain.
So today we've got a few questions for you.
Yeah.
Starting off with a basic one. Where are you from?
So I'm from Wolverhampton and my parents are from Jamaica, but I just did Ancestry DNA and found out I am 40% Nigerian. So yeah.
Nice one,
That's something new.
So what do you think inspired you to be a part of the music industry?
With this one, I have to. I started like this. I have to say. So I work at Sainsbury's. I've been there for like many years, like too long, too long. But basically, I had like no goal, no plan. I was just there floating through life. And my partner at the time, a few years back, asked me like, what do you do? Like, do you want to be at Sainsbury's forever? And I was thinking, no, like, no. I just realised then and there, like, what am I actually doing? Like, I've got no goal set, nothing. So it just made me think, like, what am I interested in? What do I like doing? And I ended up dabbling into some poetry. Then I went into music. And it just stuck from there.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure you're not alone on that. I'm sure there's been like many retail workers who think, oh, do I want to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's not for me.
So from your first song you've dropped, how far do you think you've come since?
I think I have come a long way. Just like me in general, personality, my material in music. What else could I say? My writing. Yeah, I'd say my writing as well, but yeah.
So when was your first drop, like your first song?
That was about, when did I drop? 2021 is when I dropped my first single, yeah. But I started writing in 2018.
Okay, and do you have anything new coming up that we should know about?
Yes, guys, 14th of April, Burn a Girl will be dropping, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, remember, Burn a Girl, 14th of April, write it down. Okay, so here's a more fun question for you. If you could pick 3 artists, dead or alive, to collab with, who would you choose?
I'd have to start with old school, like Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott. Those were like the 2 artists I used to do cheerleading to back in the day. And sorry, and then I would go on to new school like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Doja Cat.
Good choices, some good choices there.
Thank you. Gotta bring the vibes.
Yeah. So that's all for today. Luckily for us, the Cleopatra Way has kindly done a exclusive music video. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
I wear crop tops, not hoodies. Why hide all these goodies? My body, my choice, my mouth, my voice. Going nowhere, so the soul rejoice. Still going off adrenaline. Can't stop till the fat one sings. This stage, that stage, just know I'm paid. And if you hate, just know you're lame. Don't make spectacle. Oxtail with festival. Ain't got no record deal, but still doing festivals. I heard them things you said, so to me you're dead. Me and this music is all I'm left with. Move too quick, get hit with a fly kick. Seeing it come on, would have thought I was psychic. Would have thought I was, would have thought I was psychic.
Wow, that was amazing. What do you think, FA? Anything else to add?
I think that was awesome. I never knew such an excellent talent existed in Wolverhampton. And I think she's Nigerian. That was totally cool. Totally cool.
Well, guys, that's it for today. This has been Tea in the City. We hope to see you next time. Get your kettle on.